So another screenwriting technique that I want to talk to you all about is the 8 sequence method by Danielle. And the 8 sequence method is kind of interesting. It basically says these are exactly the 8 things that need to happen, goal, obstacle, etc., for a script to work out. I am still becoming familiar with the 8 sequence method, but I have found it thus far to be the most helpful method, perhaps because it was ground into my little head at USC by one of the Danielle scholars who taught there, or maybe because it makes more sense. So hopefully it's because it makes more sense, but we're going to break it down. So again, we have the opening image and status quo, just like Blake Field, just what like I showed you in class. We talked about the image of trying to read a book and the gravel road being bumpy and the frustration of reading and the frustration of learning and who you are, and but dealing with the kind of central question, I would say, of is Jesus able to heal the mind, right? So that was when we were doing the Michael example in class. So in the opening image and the status quo, so I would say that's about the first 10 to 15 pages. You set up something that hooks the reader. We get them into the world. Think of Coal Miner's Daughter. We're like seeing the coal mines and we're seeing the harshness of the world. And then we set up the status quo of the character, what their life is like, everything before crap goes down. And you establish here, you have to be very, very careful how you do this. Establish the character's want and needs, okay? I need to know what the character's wants and needs are by page 12. I need to know what the character wants really badly. Like in Testimony of a Sea Dragon, a girl really, really wants to impress her dad and please her dad, and she really, really needs to sort of grow up and be her own person and maybe accept who she is. I put that in the very beginning. Your character needs to have clear wants and clear needs before anything else. Okay, and this section kind of ends with what is called the inciting incident or the point of attack. It's when their world is shook or challenged by some deep change that messes up their status quo. It's kind of a threat to it, a threat to their way of living. I put POA as the point of attack, and this is a debate sequence. And basically, it's just how the character reacts with this. This debate sequence can be about 15 pages, 10 to 15 pages, but it can also be a few seconds. At some point with the status quo, the character has to debate on what they will do and how they will react and what are their choices, and you kind of want to raise the stakes. The dramatic questions raised here, so with Back to the Future, it will be like, will Marty be able to solve whatever in the past? I can't even remember. Or will he be able to come back to the future? Go back to the future. I'm not sure. Whatever he was there for, will he be able to solve it? In Coal Miner's Daughter, it seems to be will Loretta and Do have a happy marriage? Because around here they end up getting married and there seems to be a lot of trouble. It could also be like, will Loretta find herself? Will she be happy? Those are the kind of questions we're asking and keeping us hooked on watching. Okay, so usually it kind of ends with like the final decision that puts the character into the new world. And in Testimony of a Sea Dragon, it's when my character decides, okay, she will do anything to impress her dad.